Hey guys, Marsinkin here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we're going to be jumping in to try out the new AGL Dokkan Fest Frieza versus Kid BUU. We are off to a terrible start here with double Frieza on turn 1. Frieza, who is not a slot 1 unit. We have a friend, a rainbow friend, who is fully link leveled. Mine, as you guys know from the summons and that yesterday, is 55%, but is now fully link leveled. So 400k slot 1. How much damage does Kid BUU actually do with his normals? Like, I'm pretty sure we take damage from these normals in slot 1. Now, Frieza, unfortunately, as much as you guys know, I like to try and be a glass half full kind of guy when it comes to these various different things. And I like to try and, you know, see the good side of a unit. But unfortunately, Frieza is one of those characters that he very much is at a disadvantage if you get both of them on the same turn. We've seen quite a few characters like this, where characters that want to build up by either attacking a certain number of times, being attacked a certain number of times, all of that kind of thing. In longer events, it's not going to hurt you as much if it's like the first turn, because it only takes, you know, it's going to be turn 4 he comes back. But unfortunately, against this guy, it means when we get to turn 4, we're already going to be on like the second turn of Int Kid BUU. And this guy is not going to be as built up as we maybe would like. So we really want to have a Frieza on both rotations straight away, so that we don't have to mess around floating him off. Because once this guy gets built up and gets his buff, like, he's going to be doing pretty good. He, of course, greatly lowers attack on Super, which will be very, very good for... Oh, Dodoria doesn't have a Frieza on rotation. Oof. Oh god, this is actually really... Oh no, of course he does. We've got Golden Frieza right there. Except his pre-super defense is not great. Because really, I need Golden Frieza to be there to eat the super from Kid BUU. So I don't know how much damage Baby will take from the normals here. He's only got 200k. Frieza with 400k was taking damage in slot 1. And he's attacking, what, 3 times? So yeah, we had a very, very awkward starting setup here for this team, unfortunately. Because yeah, Golden Frieza will be able to eat the super in slot 3 because it's his first turn. But I don't know how well Baby's going to do. 157. Oof. Wow, big rips. Okay, so we didn't get both Friezas on the same turn this time. One is in slot 7 though, so it does mean the first turn against the Int Kid BUU is going to be his first appearance. The second turn we have Baby and Hirudegarn, so probably going to have to rely on Hirudegarn. Well, see, I want Hirudegarn in slot 1. I don't know how... Will Baby be able to tank the super from STR Kid BUU once he's like post-super attack? Maybe. I'm not sure how that's going to pan out here, to be honest. We know Baby takes about 150k in slot 1, so probably going to be in a bit of a weird spot for the next turn. I guess we could put AGL Frieza in slot 1, but then we'll be basically relying on Hirudegarn to dodge the super in slot 3. I mean, we know Frieza can get up to having over 1 million defense, but he doesn't have any other defensive tech, so even with type advantage over Kid BUU, Kid BUU will probably still do a pretty reasonable amount of damage to him. I mean, you saw the first clip, like, having bad rotations against this Kid BUU is pretty awkward, which is another reason why, you know, people complain that you can't pick your starting rotations. I don't necessarily mind it on its own, like in a vacuum, like the idea that you can't pick your rotations. It's the fact that you can't pick your rotations, and then some of the most difficult events in the game have limited attempts per day. So you could literally lose to this Kid BUU because you get a bad starting rotation, and like that's the reason why you lose. And there's nothing you can do about that, and that's one of your attempts for the day, like, gone. So that is pretty annoying. We're going to see how well Baby does here. He is going to get the 18 key super. He does get a lot of defense on super, so hopefully he's going to be okay. Typical Hirudegarn cell. You love to see that. I think this is one of the things that is people's biggest criticism of Frieza in his team, right, is his biggest weakness. Because like Hirudegarn is a unit that can be good, but he's a slot 1 unit that basically needs good RNG to be good in slot 1. Which of course is not really what we want, right? Because you take that one hit we took 330k. And then even post like multiple supers, he's still taking 60k, which, I mean, I don't know how much he would take, whether we would have survived it if we were on full health, but can probably pretty much guarantee here now that Baby is going to get killed by Kid Buu super attack in slot 3. So that is very annoying. Frieza tanking for double digits, which is good. That's what we would expect. Although I know his passive can activate mid-turn. Because we're on low HP, Baby does have high dodge chance now. But yeah, I don't know how well that's going to go. Additional super helps. I think we'll probably tank the normal from Kid Buu here for double digits. Yeah, but the super, if he doesn't dodge it, which he didn't. Yeah, 322. So we would have survived if it wasn't for the Hirudegarn cell. Typical. You know, one thing I'm actually not sure on is how this works, right? If we Ghost Usher on the first turn against Kid Buu, does that mean he just... I'm assuming that just means he just doesn't super on the second turn, right? And then the phase ends? I actually don't know. I don't think have we ever tested that? I'm not sure. Well, we'll do it in this video and we'll see. Because, again, with this starting rotation, we don't really have a unit that is good enough in slot 1, right? Like, we know Baby's taking 150k, whilst Dodoria has guard. Dodoria has even lower start of turn defense than Baby. So not an ideal first rotation, and we kind of want Frieza next to Baby so we can at least get big bad bosses active. So not a great rotation. Now Dodoria, post all of these supers and with guard, perfectly fine tanking against Kid Buu normals in this stage. And we've got multiple attacks here. You know, Dodoria looking pretty decent on this turn, but just not really a unit that you want to be putting in slot 1. And then Frieza getting our supers off here. Is this my one? It's a 55%. Mine is obviously, again, as I say, full level 10 links already. The friend, we used up the rainbow actual friend who was level 10 links, and now it's like a rainbow guest who is not fully level 10 links. But okay, so we've got Hirudegarn. So that means, yeah, Golden Frieza was in slot 7. God, what a rotation this is. I mean, I guess I just have to rely on Hirudegarn, which is not something I feel very comfortable about, but I guess that's what we're doing. We can't use the Ghost Usher because we used one on the previous turn, so I guess we will see how Hirudegarn gets on here. Cool. Oh my god, this guy. Bruh. Man, the Hirudegarn cell is real. I've used Hirudegarn way less than I've used Dragon Fist Goku. And man, like, this is the first time I've used him in a while where, like, I'm relying on him to be the slot 1 unit. And boy, talk about disappointing. Because, actually, I think we have just enough HP that if he was to have gotten hit once there, we saw on a previous turn he was still taking like 60 to 70k from a normal post super. We would have just about survived him taking another hit there, which is very awkward. Because, yeah, so Frieza's team realistically needs another, like, a really strong slot 1 unit. Because, yeah, I don't know, as I said before, about testing out the way the Ghost Usher thing works. I don't know whether Kid Buu even... Okay, he dodged, which is probably good, because I think we saw on the previous turn, before his first extra damage reduction thing procs, he was taking almost 100k, so he genuinely might have just died. Okay, so we've got the... we can do the hilariously terrible damage active skill here with Frieza. Although I suppose, almost arguably, there's no point doing it, because not only does it not do a lot of damage, but then it's giving him extra attack power. So... we'll see how we get on. I guess the good thing about Golden Frieza being in slot 7 is the fact that this is his first turn, so he hasn't started losing any damage reduction yet. But of course, oh nice, I was going to say, we dodged the normal and then get immediately supered. I'm genuinely surprised we actually dodged the super attack there as well, so I will take that. I don't know how much dodge my Golden Frieza actually has, but I will definitely take that. And then, of course, AGL Frieza greatly lowers attack with his super. So if we get a turn where, especially early on, that's what we really want, we get a turn where we do multiple additional supers, that's going to help us out nice and early in this stage. So, yeah, there we go. A double super straight off the bat's really good here. Up to 9.1 now for... This is my Frieza, right? So I think we're only at 4 attacks for him. The only problem, of course, is Dodoria doesn't lower attack and will potentially be attacking multiple times here. So I'm not sure how much damage he's going to end up taking. He does have guard, of course, because he's on rotation with a Frieza, and we are doing multiple attacks. In fact, I think next turn, do we have Baby on the next turn? As long as we live, as long as Dodoria doesn't get demolished here. Okay, nice. Then we are going to get the Great Ape Baby transformation, which of course then negates a super from Kid Buu, as long as he supers during this phase, which is good. The only downside, of course, is it means we are attacking him multiple times, which is the thing you have to worry about with giant apes. Is does he lower attack on either of his supers? That would be quite useful, but I don't think he does. Nope. So that's the thing here. If Baby gets off a bunch of super attacks, we're going to be doing some damage. We're going to negate the potential super, but we're also giving Kid Buu all of the attack raises here from doing all these attacks. But it is what it is. So he supered straight away. So that means once we come out of the Golden Great Ape, we're not going to be able to get supered. So that is good. That would do 2 million damage to him. That's crazy. Alright, and then Baby going to get some super attacks off here. Build up Kid Buu's attack a little bit, which is a bit awkward, but... You know, we're going to have our Freezers constantly lowering his attack, which is good. Although, of course, the next rotation is going to be the Harudagon rotation, which, man, we thought he took a lot of damage in slot 1 when he didn't dodge before. Imagine the kind of damage he would be taking now with a Kid Buu who's getting a bunch of attack build-up. So... I wonder if, unironically, the way to go would be to active skill with Frieza, if we can use it already, and then put him in slot 1. Because post-active skill, he goes up to having, like, well over 1 million defense. But, obviously, Kid Buu's not attack lowered anymore. So, I mean, he's had a few attack lowers put on him, but he's also now gotten multiple buffs from the Giant Ape phase. Because... I could use the other Ghost Usher. It is funny that, like, to basically make sure we even got to the second phase, we had to use a Ghost Usher. But I suppose, actually, does that... I don't think I've tried this interaction out before. So the turn after a Giant Ape transformation, because it's technically still the same turn, he can't super attack now, right? So then if I Ghost Usher, it just removes all the attacks and puts them back in on the next turn. I'm assuming that that means that the attack that would have been a super that's been changed to a normal now because of the Giant Ape thing stays as a normal attack, right? I mean, I don't actually know. But of course, the thing is, it's awkward because we want Harudagon to dodge because otherwise he takes a lot of damage. But we also want him to dodge because as long as he gets 3 dodges, he has a 100% chance to dodge on the next turn. So by using a Ghost Usher, we're kind of hurting him a little bit because we're not getting that build up with him. But... I mean, he's only got 400k defense, and we can't use the active skill for Frieza, so, I mean, we don't really have much of a choice here. Baby lowers attack on his normal supers, doesn't he? Yeah, both of them. So, yeah, I think we do just have to do this, and then hope for the best to get with Harudagon. Or we just use the Ghost Usher, and then because we're applying so many attack lowers... Let's test it out and we'll see what happens, because we know he can't super on this turn from the Giant Ape ability, but will he then still super on the next turn because we've used the Ghost Usher? I guess we'll see. But I mean, straight away, it kind of tells you a lot about this team setup, where with some of the units that we have to run, like, I don't feel comfortable not using an item here, right? Because Harudagon... I think with the, especially because we're on low HP anyway, literally one attack not dodged and he's dead. So yeah, it's kind of awkward. And like I say, we used the Ghost Usher to make sure we got through the first phase. It's not the kind of thing that, it doesn't paint a great picture for like the newest released Dokkan Fest, right? When you have to use items to get their team through like the difficult events. Again, it's no detriment to Frieza. And don't get me wrong, if you get a good starting rotation, you get good RNG with things like dodging and stuff like that, I feel like you absolutely could no item Kid Buu with a Frieza team. depending on the build and depending on how the run goes. But obviously, as I said before, like with events that have limited attempts per day, super awkward to have like this kind of setup where it's like, well, if I don't use an item right here, I'm potentially going to die. Although this should be a fun turn. Big Bad Bosses, this is my 55% Frieza. Let's go ahead and see what his active skill is going to do here. I'm not sure if my one had attacked 5 times already or not. So if he hasn't, then this won't do as much damage. But should still be pretty good. We've attack lowered him a whole bunch on the previous turn, because the other Frieza did multiple supers. So how much is this doing here? 11.7 million. Okay. And it is a action break as well. Now, I wonder if the first attack was the one that would have been a super without the Great Ape thing. I guess we won't get to see specifically how that works now, but do this and we'll grab the physical orbs of Kid Buu. Support from physical Kid Buu. Action break. You've been attack lowered a whole bunch, so yeah, Golden Frieza still taking double-digit damage. Golden Frieza can obviously still be very good in this Kid Buu event, because in longer events he's not as good because his damage reduction wears off over time, but this is a shorter event, especially with a unit like AGL Frieza who's doing a lot of damage. The event doesn't last as long as it potentially would with other teams. And yeah, see, there he is up to 14.7 with that Kid Buu support. And it's not the full support because we started the turn on lower HP. But yeah, it jumps up to 15.3. I mean, as I said before, right, like this Frieza, he can do a lot of damage. He's a damage dealing unit. So I will absolutely take this for a 55% character. He is full level 10 links now. Obviously having Big Bad Bosses at level 10 makes that huge difference. He drops to the 16 million attack stat there. And then physical Kid Buu going to be able to finish off the fight here. So, I mean, there you go. That was the AGL Dokkan Fest Frieza and his team versus Kid Buu. With this particular build, had to use items to get through just to make sure. I think this team, with the limited options, as I said earlier on, and as we saw in the very first clip, you will get severely screwed over by this team if you do not get a good starting rotation. And then with limited attempts per day, that can be incredibly awkward, but there you go. We managed to get it done. As I said before, Frieza can look very good when he's just left to do his thing. You know, he's got his allies for his full passive. He's got his links active, Big Bad Bosses. He can look really good. It's the rest of the team that is potentially the issue. So we need a new space traveling warrior, terrifying conqueror character that's going to be, you know, top of the meta, good level sort of character. It doesn't have to be the best unit in the game. So like an upcoming Dokkan Fest Baby or a Dokkan Fest Lord Slug would be really good for this team, especially if they're a really good slot 1 unit. Because Frieza, if we take a look at him, he does have some of the weird links like Frieza's army and stuff like that. But if we think about a Baby or a Lord Slug, Big Bad Bosses, obviously Fierce Battle, Fear and Faith, Thirst for Conquest, these are like links that they could have, right? It's only really Frieza's army and then the 2 Wicked Bloodline ones, Universe Most Malevolent and Strongest Clan in Space. So even if they're just sharing those 4 links, Big Bad Bosses, Thirst for Conquest, Fear and Faith, Fierce Battle, but they're like a super good slot 1 tank, then that unit would be really, really good for this Frieza team. Obviously, if he fits under their 200% lead and a lot of their team is Terrifying Conquerors, then he'd be very good on their team as well. But yeah, this Frieza just needs more, because this team as it is here, I mean, we beat the stage. We could probably no-item the stage with that team if we got a better starting setup. But not many of the units can go in slot 1. And then, of course, Kid Buu on turn 2 does a super right in the last slot. So you not only need a slot 1 tank, but you then need a unit you can put in slot 3 that can eat that super. So it can certainly be a little bit tricky for this team. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. What do you guys think of Frieza? I know a lot of people wouldn't have summoned for him anyway, but is he better than you thought, worse than you thought? Let me know down below. And how would you build his team to take on the Kid Buu stage? So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.